Hey guys, this is Andy from The New Divide, and I'm here with Sam and Jonathan and our new friend. Well, not new friend. We've known you for a little while.
Like
it's been a year or two.
Yeah, maybe it's 2.
Because we've loved Kontact Coffee for quite some time. But tell us how to properly say your name, because I know I'm not going to say it like a Hungarian would.
It's tricky in Hungarian. Normal, it's Peter,
Peter.
but Boyko, that's the tricky part.
Boyko.
Yeah.
Boyko. Peter Boyko. Kontact Coffee. If you've ever seen our Instagram, we like Kontact Coffee. We like their Instagram, and we like what they make here. So we are really honored to get to sit with Peter and just kind of discuss their shop and where we are. We're in this awesome alley. How did you guys find this place?
This was like totally by chance. We were looking for a great place for like 3 months.
Yeah.
And we had something in mind, but we didn't know where it is. I just kept searching, just going street by street, street by street. After like 3 months, almost giving up, I ended up going home, and somehow I stepped into this alley. It's like, wow,
whoa.
This is where we are going to have the coffee shop. We just need to find a spot. And I walked around, and it turned out that this spot was empty. And made some phone calls, got the owner, and like 2 weeks after it, we got the rent.
Wow.
So we started off right away.
Awesome alley.
And then we started reconstructions.
It's almost as classic Budapest as you can find. It's just the cobblestone streets and the bikes against the wall. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, and most of the people who lived here, like in the city, people didn't really know about this alley. I think lots of people got to know this alley because we are here. Because we didn't even know about it. It's right downtown, in the middle of everything, but you still don't know it's here.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It helps that the sign is outside of the alley.
Yeah.
Yeah. that helps.
Or else it would be really hard.
Well, since we're at Kontact, do you want to tell us about what we're drinking this morning? Because you're a multi-roaster.
Yeah.
So you guys use a lot of different kinds of beans.
Yeah, basically we work with Nordic roasters. One of them is Kopi from Sweden. Really nice guys roasting great coffee from Helsingborg. They've been doing specialty coffee for about 10 years in Sweden, which is a big thing. We also work with La Cabra from Denmark and Drop Coffee also from Sweden. We like their roasting style because they all have something in common, but they also have something unique. With Kopi, what we like is that you can really play around with the coffee and get so many taste profiles and just fall in love with something and just keep chasing that. Right now, this is probably our favorite summer coffee from Kenya.
This one we're pouring right now?
Yeah. This Karimikui is like a super great acidity and still like a really great balanced sweetness.
Oh, wow.
That's a classic piece of cobblestone, is trying to drag your luggage by cobblestone.
That's just the start. You can find really crazy things being pulled through this cobblestone alley.
This is excellent.
Just then was a rabbi.
That was
actually the 7th district here is the Jewish district, and there is a Jewish church here right in front of the alley. So this is right next door.
Wow, and
Great.
Yeah, this coffee, I'm really happy.
Yeah,
we're trying this right now.
For me, when I first got it, when I got the samples from Charles and Ann, I was cupping 3 coffees from their summer section. And when I was tasting this one, I just closed my eyes and I totally forgot that it is coffee. This was like black currant juice.
Yeah.
Like a warm black currant juice. And I was like, man, this will
That's a
taste
good way to
awesome
describe
on
it.
filter.
Amazing.
Yeah, that is a good way to describe it. So how did you guys fall in love with coffee then? Tell us about maybe your first experience with specialty coffee.
Yeah, it was really interesting. It wasn't just one experience, it was pretty much like a journey. When we first started off with coffee, I was not really a coffee drinker. I had really big problems with my blood pressure. My wife was like, she sometimes drank coffee, but she wasn't really into coffee either. when we decided that we were going to do a coffee shop, we were still not into coffee because our first concept was to do like a concept store, design shop, plus coffee.
Okay.
Just add
And
it on the
coffee,
side.
coffee was just like a side thing. So we started off with Italian coffee. We got Italy, which is like a decent Italian coffee. We started making that, and just for health reasons, my wife stopped putting sugar into her cappuccino. We were always drinking milk drinks. It's like, yeah, you should try it without sugar. It can taste really good, and it's much healthier. Okay, I'm gonna give it a try. I realized that sometimes we are messing that cappuccino up so much that
By
it's
adding
going
the sugar.
Yeah, and realize that you have to really pay attention to make it right to taste good really without the sugar.
Right.
All right, so we went on with that, and we decided, okay, let's try not using sugar with the espressos. Wow, Italian coffee can taste really good without the sugar, but it can taste horribly without the sugar. So the difference between the two things is that how you prepare it. So we started experimenting with that, and
How long ago would this have been?
this was around 3 years ago. Basically,
Wow.
that was the first year of Contact when we were on this, and so like first 6 months on Italian coffee, and after 6 months came the revelation that hey, Italian coffee is good, but it's not enough for us because there is not enough playground. We don't have enough taste, and it's like we want to have more. And we went on and tried light roasted espresso from a Hungarian roaster, Casino Mocha. That was an Ethiopian. Usually that's the first espresso that just shows you, oh,
Yeah.
this is like totally something else. And we were like, wow, coffee can taste so good. Okay, then we immediately changed our mind. Okay, we have like 6 months till the first birthday of the coffee or the shop back then. We are going to use that 6 months to prepare and switch to specialty coffee and learn. And we spent that like learning, tasting, trying everything, collecting money for upgrading equipment, rebuilding the shop,
Wow.
everything. That was like 6 months of preparation. And by the first birthday of the shop, we just totally changed everything. And we started specialty coffee and redesigned the shop. Everything was totally new, and we got into it.
So you're only a couple years old, or a few years old as a shop.
Yeah, it's like 3 years as a shop, 2 years as a coffee shop. So
Wow.
basically, Kontact has 2 birthdays.
Now, does Kontakt mean anything special? Because it's spelled interesting. Is that the Hungarian?
This is
Word for something?
Hungarian spelling for like similar like word that contact in the English. But what we wanted to do with this is that we always thought that a hospitality industry is not just an industry. It's
Yeah.
always pretty much about personal contact with people.
Right.
And we wanted to focus on that. That was always a dream to have a really good community space. We didn't know how to make it. We knew that a small space will help, and if we are gonna be there, that's also going to be really good.
Yeah.
And that's why we gave the name, but we didn't know that it's going to turn out so good. That we spent basically all of our time here in the first 1.5, 2 years, and we made so many friends, and those regulars who came back also made friends with the other regulars.
Yeah.
So it
So
started a
suddenly you've
whole
built
new
a community.
Yeah. And on the other side, it's also built a community around coffee, because we are lucky to be hidden here in this alley. So we know who's coming in here is going to come in for coffee, not
Yeah.
just dropping by from the street.
Yeah.
They're not just walking by.
Yeah, we know that they are going to be
tourism,
interested in
yeah.
getting a good coffee. And that's why we started this no sugar policy that roots back probably to the experience we had.
Yeah.
We realized that not adding sugar will open up really big doors for us for good coffee.
Yeah, you have a label right on the counter that says no sugar.
Yeah.
'Cause I think, what's it say? No sugar.
No sugar, seriously. Because
Seriously.
there were some people who asked, seriously, no sugar?
Seriously. So,
It's an educational purpose.
yeah. So is this a place where, I'll rephrase that, Budapest is a place where there's a lot of coffee shops. Is that something relatively new to this culture? Are you teaching people as they come every time, this is why you want to love this coffee?
Yeah, we are trying to do education right when people step in. Sometimes you just can't do it because people are not interested, but I think about 80% of our customers are interested in everything new. We do like regular cuppings.
Yeah.
With
Like
different-
community cuppings
Yeah,
that they can come
yeah.
to.
And that's what people really love. And we also started like a cupping game where you have to do blind cupping and find out which region that coffee is from, so that we can educate people to just use their tongue much better and
Yeah.
realize flavors, differentiate flavors. And we are also learning always.
Yeah.
And it's like a never-ending learning curve that we have here.
What's the most important thing you think you've learned in the last year?
I think regarding coffee or just running a business is that focus on one thing, do it right, and do it with whole heart.
Yeah.
And that works out. We every year I think we just keep just chopping off from what we have. Like we used to have sandwiches. Now we don't have it because we have it separately there in the breakfast place.
Yeah.
And now it's so good to just have only one focus on coffee.
Just make
It's
excellent
really
coffee.
Yeah.
cool they have this space across as a breakfast area.
Yeah.
Which is
That's-
pretty awesome.
I'll show
That
some
you also got the
shots
shop
of that.
across the alley.
Yeah.
So we came early before the shop opens. So before the shop opens, can you take us inside here maybe and just show us
Sure,
some of
let's
the
go
stuff
inside.
you guys do? Maybe your machine, maybe your. We really love your nitro cold brew. In fact, I would argue that it's some of the best I've ever had anywhere in the nations. And so
I'm happy to hear that.
their cold brew is so good it has its own Instagram. What is it?
Rocket.
Rocket.
And it's called @DrinkRocket.
@DrinkRocket. So you can follow that. How do they find you? It's just @Kontact. KONTAKT.
@Kontact Coffee.
@Kontact Coffee.
Yeah.
So we'll put all of those links in here. But let's finish this coffee and go inside
Let's go.
and see what you got in there. So this espresso is phenomenal. But one of my favorite things about your shop is your cold brew. We've had a lot of different cold brews in a lot of different places, and because you're multi-roaster, you probably use different beans
Yeah.
and rotate through your.
Right now, we sometimes do rotation, but now we are doing our own roast on here. We don't roast our own coffee, but we talked to our local roaster, and we got Colombian beans roasted only for us. We got a whole bag of green coffee, and we kept that for the whole summer so that we can be stable on that, and it's much easier for logistics.
Yeah, that would be easier.
Yeah.
So I liked something you told me earlier is that you haven't really had a lot of natural cold brew outside of here.
Exactly.
It's not something you're out trying and tasting all the time.
Yeah, when we started off, it was like a one thing in the US. We just saw it on Instagram that some other guys are doing that. And when we started,
You thought I could try that?
yeah, 2.5 years ago, it's like, let's give it a try. Let's see what it is. We pretty much fell in love with nitro,
Yeah.
like how it looks in the cup. And doing cold brew was lots of experimenting because back then in specialty coffee, cold brew wasn't so common. It started becoming common. Everyone had different recipes,
Yeah.
and none of them worked for us. So we just started doing that, tasting different recipes and just getting our regulars to taste it. And we just got to one thing that works for us, and now we just keep on doing that. And it was like 6 months of trial and error, doing the cold brew and then building up the whole system, which was like totally crazy idea because we talked to guys who are doing beer, they couldn't set it up for us, so I had to dig into Google and learn about beer taps and everything. And now I just keep doing that with beverage industry and production things. But anyways, so this nitro cold brew was the first in Europe back then. Now there are some more popping up in Berlin and UK. But this pretty much made us famous here in Hungary and also internationally. Yeah, because people just, first summer when we started off, we didn't know that it's going to be successful. We just wanted to do it because we like it.
It looks cool.
It turned out that we kept running out of the batches. In the first week, we had to triple our production and just rethink the whole thing. And the first summer was really crazy because we were not ready for that amount of production.
Yeah, for that kind of response.
And people just tried giving us call, hey, it's 4 p.m. Can we still go and get rocket, or did you already run out of that day's batch? Like,
Wow.
yeah, we have some. We have like 5 cups left, so hurry up.
Hurry up. Wow.
We had to do the next batch at the night. We stayed here like 11 p.m. grinding coffee, doing the cold brew, coming in the morning, just filtering it at before like 6 o'clock.
Wow.
This was like
Great
crazy times.
Well, can you pour us one? Can we see
Yeah.
how it pours? I'm gonna get out my camera because I love watching nitro cold brew pour every time. Look at that! Look at that rocket!
Dang.
That cascading.
Cascade. It's really entertaining every time.
It is. It's always so cool to watch.
Yeah.
You probably. Are
That's what's for me. I was always like the first week. I remember that we were just always sitting there and watching it. Hey, we finally made it. We see the cascading.
I love it. I love
The
it.
exciting point.
Dude, well, Peter, thank you so much for showing us your stuff. If you're ever in Budapest, you have to come visit Peter. There's actually, you even have on your wall a Budapest coffee tour.
Yeah,
a
you should
map.
definitely do that.
Budapest has a thriving coffee scene.
We are really busy with specialty coffees. Right now we are at like 25 specialty coffee shops in the city.
In Budapest?
Yeah.
Wow. I think we've maybe gone to
We've
6
been to-
of those.
Yeah.
not all
Not
of them. I
all
haven't
of
closed all of them.
But we'll continue. Every time we come, we go exploring some more, but we always come back here. Don't tell anybody else. This is always where I start my day, with a rocket cold brew. Actually, I get a cappuccino, but because you just make good drinks, top to bottom. So, thank you for letting us come be in your shop this morning before you open. Where can everyone find you guys? Like your website, your Instagram?
You can either find us on our website, that's contactcoffee.com. Just make sure you write contact with a K,
Yeah.
and coffee is like normal. Yeah. All of them
Yeah,
are
the
K.
Hungarian.
That's
K is
Hungarian
where the
spelling
C's
with the English spelling.
Right.
there.
K is where the C's would be.
K is where the C's would be. And
Exactly, and it's the same thing with Instagram and Facebook. Use at Instagram and Facebook also.
awesome.
Contact Coffee.
Yeah, we will be seeing you guys again. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast. You can follow Kontact, follow Coffee with the New Vibe, and I guess we'll just keep drinking it, right?
Yeah,
Just-
keep drinking good coffee.
We'll
Keep
just
drinking good coffee.
Keep drinking it.